Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Real Ball Talk. Going into a stacked fixture list this weekend, I think. There's a lot of big games. Without two of the usual suspects, but we move same way. What you saying, Rash?
What are you saying? I'm happy to be here. It's Friday. Alhamdulillah. We're back again
Yep,
here with another episode of Real Ball Talk. And
trust me.
we're down to, but it don't matter. We keep it going.
We move same way.
Keep
But
it.
yeah, man. Big games on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
One of them involving our team. So it's Arsenal Spurs, North London derby. It don't mean what it used to, considering we're both not that good.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
but same way, big game on Sunday. You going to the game first of all?
No,
No.
not going to the game. Last I saw, the Romanian tickets that was left was going for like prices of like £250 or something like that. And I'm
Oh
just
no
like,
no no
I'm
no no
like,
no.
yeah, I know, like it's the end of the month, but nah, man. Do
Yeah
you know what I'm
yeah yeah.
saying? So
Everyone might have been paid, but I'm cool.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to be tuning in. It's on the Sunday, London Derby. You
Mm,
know, it's the best games of the year, of the season for
yep.
us, because we don't know what's going to happen.
Mhm.
Yeah, sometimes it's us. Most times it's been us. But in
Yeah.
recent years, Tottenham's been a stronger squad and a stronger team. So it's been a harder battle. But yeah, it'll be good to see how this one pans out, because Spurs and Arsenal are quite similar in the situations that they are in right now.
Yep.
I mean, if you look at their money situation, Spurs have got to pay off the stadium. We've heard that before. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
If you look at their manager situation, they're both teams that are quite unsure in regards to tactics, or even uh, um, managers are still trying to fill their way into the squad.
Mhm.
Players are trying to adapt to Nuno's new roles, to see, and even to see if he's even someone that fits in the Spurs dynamics. And then we've got Arteta, who has big question marks over his head whether he's even going to make it to the end of the season. I mean, these games are very important for him. And
Yep.
then we've got a squad with a couple new players in there as well, feeling their way out. Both dwindling around the middle third of the Premier League table. Do you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
you know they haven't had the best of seasons over the last few years, so it will be a game of, I don't think, too much excitement. But if we can get that derby feel, then it will be something to watch.
Yeah, definitely. All right, before we get to Arsenal, because it's probably more questions on Arsenal considering we're Arsenal fans. Let's talk about Spurs first. So been a bit shaky as of recent, or lost their last two games, both 3-0. We're going in with two 1-0 wins.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of their danger players, and who do you think is even going to play on Sunday? Like, will we expect Kane and Son to start, but do we see the likes of Tanguy and Ndombele playing, Lucas Moura playing? Do we see them playing?
Look, I think when it comes to Arsenal, Spurs playing Arsenal, they know how important it is as well, and they know how important it will be as an effect or as an impact on the squad if they don't come up with a good result. So I think they're going to have to try and play their strongest squad. I think Kane will be in there. I think Son will definitely be in there as well. We'll have to find a way to bring the two together. Um, and I think you might even see more on at the same time, because I
Mm,
think Spurs are in a desperate situation.
yeah.
There's Kane's not really scoring. I mean, even though I know he scored in the cup game, I mean, look at the cup game. So, um, you've got to kind of look at it from a point of view that Spurs have a lot to prove, and who better to prove it against than Arsenal? That will get the fans on side, that will get the team back on side, to get the morale up and everything like that. They need this. They need this probably more than what we do right now, because they were struggling to even find a manager. Yeah. So do they even have a style of play? Are they aware of what tactics they are supposed to be playing as Nuno wants them to be played right now?
Mm,
And they need something to pick them up, because at the moment, after the first couple wins that they got in the season, they haven't been looking like a good squad. They've just been looking like a bang average squad with bang average players in there as well.
it's,
And
it's interesting you say that because 2 games ago where they were top, Arsenal were
Mm.
bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and there was all of those early predictions. Arsenal going to be relegated. There was the memes galore. Spurs
Mm-hmm.
fans were gassed, happy we're
Yep.
top, even though it's 3 games in. And now, if Arsenal win and Spurs win, potentially we could go above Spurs on goal difference. So I guess our goal difference is really bad. Consider it's probably like -7 if I think about it. But we could go level on
Mm.
points, put it that way. So
Yeah.
it's just interesting to see what 3 games later can do. Like 3 games before you were top,
Mm.
3 games later you could be on the same points as us. Like
Exactly.
literally.
Exactly. And that's why it's good to keep it humble, because
Mm,
all it takes is 3 weeks and things are just turned on its head, you know.
yeah.
But in regards to this actual game, I mean, how do you think it's gonna pan out for Spurs? I mean, what sort of formation do you think they're even gonna try and attempt?
I'm actually not sure. I don't know if they're going to try 3 at the back. I think Romero is definitely going to play their new
Mm.
centre back. I think it's just finding the partner for him. Is it going to be Tanganga because he's started the season pretty well.
Yeah.
He's been playing well, and he's a right back.
Mm.
So it looks like he's like found himself at like centre back because at right back, he's good defensively. Kind of reminds me of, it's not a disrespect to him, but our poor man's Wan-Bissaka. Like he's good defensively
Mm.
and he's not that good going
No, I
forward.
feel it. But he doesn't
Um,
try to go forward as well. That's not his
nah,
game.
he's kind of limited going forward. Like he
Mm.
does, yeah, like he just stays in his lane. So centre back could work for him. So if it's him and Romero at the back,
Mm.
Reguilon's probably going to play. I'm not sure who's going to start right back. That bit, I'm
Mm.
not sure. I don't know if it's going to be Doherty. I'm not sure.
And
Or
Reguilon is a
Emerson
player
Royal.
as well. Reguilon is a player.
Reguilon's a good player. I'm not sure. I don't think like I was thinking about. I don't think Endon Bailey will play or
Mm.
start. I think they're gonna go with the usual suspects, meaning Deli Ali, the Milton Keynes Chirac guy. That he just because I was flying his flag like 4 or 5 years ago. I said, yeah,
Yeah.
this guy's sick. Now I don't know. I can't defend you. Like it's gone so bad. Like I think we were saying it last time. We don't know if he can play mid-table Premier League now. Like it
Yeah.
looks that bad.
It does.
But yeah, I guess the threat of Kane is still the same
Mm.
because even if he's not firing yet, he loves playing against Arsenal. He
Yeah.
just loves it.
Yeah.
He scores against us every time.
I think it's
Um,
only probably like once he hasn't.
yeah, like all the games that pop up in my head, I remember him scoring. There's a
Mm.
penalty, there's a screamer, there's something.
Even if they lose, he's like, nah, I'm getting one in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves scoring against Arsenal. I don't know why. But yeah, I think Tottenham, like I think chances kind of go out the window in this kind of game, man. It's just kind of like who's more equipped to see this as a derby match.
Mm. And that's, do you know what the thing is as well? Is like how I look at it is that Spurs usually get the drop on Arsenal when it comes to their attacking.
Mm,
But with a new manager and with their forwards not firing the way that they normally do,
mhm.
I mean, Arsenal's back line have looked all right in the last few games, and
Yeah,
they kept a couple clean sheets. I think they've had 2 clean sheets with a new boy, but in between the sticks. Oh, what's his name again?
Ramsdale.
Ramsdale. Yeah,
Mm,
and so I think it will be a bit difficult for Spurs to break down. It's weird that I'm actually saying this to break to Spurs difficult for them to break down Arsenal's back line, because they're
mm.
actually playing uh, with mutual understanding, and they seem to have an aim, a goal, a way that they want to play, and they seem to be working through it. Yes, Eduardo.
Salute Ed.
So yeah, I think they've been playing good, and with Ramsdale in goal, they've just looked very impressive. It's like they have got a little bit of confidence to know that, look, even if they do get past it, we've got a good shot stopper behind us as well. Which I don't know. They've looked alright at the back. I don't think look like they've had a problem.
Yeah, guess it hasn't. Well, it's been one. I guess, kind of Premier League test. Norwich, no disrespect to Norwich, but I didn't really see it as a test defensively. Like, you expected it to be comfortable, and it kind of was. But we still, like, you can only beat what's in front of you, so we did all right there. But I guess the big test for me is seeing Son against the new right back Tomiyasu. Like,
Yeah.
that's because you played against like Brandon Williams and whoever plays on the left hand side for Norwich. I can't even remember. And then McNeil. It's a very different test playing against Son. Like
Very
someone
different.
he consistently shows up in the league. He's quick. You can go either side. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does in this game. He's been playing well. You know, he looks quite strong, quick. He's good in the air, like good attributes. But yeah, this is the first time we can really measure. All right, have we got ourselves a little gem here?
And it's crazy because I've seen even how composed he is on the ball. He's not rattled by being in the Premier League at all.
Nah.
And funny enough is the information that was coming through when Arsenal was when purchased him. He was a bit of a laughing stock, like within many group chats. Arsenal were being mocked because they bought him. No one knew who he was. Everyone heard the rumors that nobody wanted him. He was offered to this guy, that guy, and that guy, and Arsenal were the only ones saying, "Hey, yeah, we'll take him." You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things. But he's turned out to be all right, and I prefer him already in that position over a subject or a chain or a Bellerin. You know what I'm trying to say?
Just looks more balanced, I think. Like both ways. He looks to know what he's doing. Yeah, so salute to D Star and the Paxer. So the question was who's the first, or the Paxer, we know who that is. But D Star's question is Arteta or Nuno to get sacked first. Who do you reckon it will be?
Boy, look, I think Nuno's a brilliant manager. I think he's really good. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
That Wolves team.
I think if he is allowed time and money, he can make Spurs a good squad again. If he's given the time. And you know what? I think he will be given the time because I don't think Spurs are in a hurry of getting rid of another manager. And to be honest, the way they were like hoeing themselves trying to get a manager, like they're looking to look, we want to keep you for a while. Like we're not looking to go back on those corners. You know what I'm trying to say? So
they're moving like Brittany Renner, man.
Bro, these guys are moving mad to get the manager, bro. Jeez, bro, what did you say? They offered. What did they? Oh, come on, Jeff, help me out. What did they? What did one guy? What did one team say they offered? What did one manager say he offered? They offered him.
I think They offered Conte like 3 mil under what he wanted, salary rise a year.
The description was a dizzying offer, and it was turned down.
Nah, the verbiage was mad. Like, I was looking at it, like, oh man, this is what's happening to you guys. Managers are turning you down. Martinez just said, forget it. Like, I don't want to join you this much. I've signed a new deal. Like, forget it. Like, I want nothing to do with Spurs and your Tottenham Stadium. Like, it's crazy. Oh man.
Crazy. But yeah, that was good. That was good banter for the summer.
Trust me, I was laughing for time. Like, even though you don't know what's gonna happen with Arsenal, I was just looking at Spurs like, this is mad. Like, you got a player that you don't really want. He doesn't want to be there. You can't get a manager, and you can't get a replacement for him.
Yeah,
like, it's madness.
And that even brings us even onto that. Kane, what sort of performance do you think he's gonna put out? I mean, like we saying, he always shows up against Arsenal, but he looked like he was done with these guys last game. So I mean, he popped in a goal for the in the cup match, but still, I just think, I think he can be handled. I think he can be handled because I don't think he's given 100.
He isn't, but even a 60% Kane, I've learned, because I didn't like Kane at first. I thought, this guy, man, he's good. He can score, but I don't know about anything else. I didn't think he would be this consistent, but he's shown like in the past, it's probably about 7 years now, that 60% Kane can still get a job done. So it's going to be interesting to see how Ben White and Gabriel handle him and how they handle Son coming in field. and like how that defense interchanges. But I think Kane, even if he doesn't play well, you still probably nick a goal. That's just the kind of player he is.
But
Uh,
is he that player anymore? I mean, he's been dropping really deep into the midfield, and it's like
mm,
Spurs don't really have a forward,
yeah.
and it's like we don't really know what Kane we're gonna get now. Is it the one that Mourinho was molding into maybe someone who holds back and drops a bit deep now to come and set up the play, or
Mm,
is it the Kane that is at the top of the game, ready to start some trouble and banging some goals? And if we look at the current Kane form that we've been seeing post last season throughout the England era, I mean, that was probably a 40% Kane. It was still a bit of a problem at the end, but
mm,
look what the type of movement and the type of play he was then, and then what he's brought into the league so far this season. Like, I don't know if he's gonna be the problem that we are actually worried about, because of we know in the past Kane is the guy that bangs against Arsenal. He loves
mm.
Arsenal. He bangs
He
goals
does.
against Arsenal.
Loves
So
Emirates.
do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think this might be a time for Arsenal to nick the win and kick on. This might be what they actually need. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Because at the moment, like you're saying, they haven't been tested. You know,
yeah.
the fact they've played against the weaker clubs of the league, and
Hmm.
they've only won 1-0. You know,
Yeah.
they haven't had any trouble. They haven't looked in trouble, but
It's
they
true.
ain't got the firepower as well. So it will be interesting to see what sort of game they set up against Tottenham.
Yeah. So I guess before we get to predictions of the game and that, a few things on the Arsenal side we should get to. So I guess everyone's fit on the
Hmm.
Arsenal side. Everyone's
Hmm.
available on the
So
Arsenal
I'm
side,
hearing. So this will be
including
interesting.
including our favorite guy, Granit Xhaka. He's fit.
Yeah, for your exes up. He is back.
Oh my god!
So
So
listen, if do you reckon he's going to walk back into the midfield?
listen, I saw some clips of a press conference, and Arteta's words were Granit Xhaka is flying in training. So I think he means he's doing well in training. So
What does that mean, though? I
flying
wonder what
can
that
be flying
means.
into tackles. Like with him, like I know what flying means normally, but for
Yeah.
Xhaka, oh man. But yeah, he's listen, it looks like he's doing well in training. The manager's happy with him. So I'm gonna expect him to start
Yeah.
um against Spurs. Like I think we all know it. Like even though like Lakonga and whatnot started the season really well,
Hmm.
Party played well, like almost by himself holding.
Yep.
Um, but he's still not 100% fit. But it looks like Xhaka will play. Um,
Yeah.
that's a guarantee, I think.
I think so as well. I mean, we know Arteta loves to play it safe. As there's Jalil shout out from Jalil, he's saying that Xhaka will play. He's saying that
Yeah,
Xhaka will play, didn't he?
yeah.
Yeah. All right, there we go. So I also think that as well, because we know Arteta, he likes to play it safe. He likes
Mhm.
the devil that he knows. He loves him. He loves the devil he knows. And so I think Xhaka will be in the squad and in the starting lineup. It's just who he's going to be paired up with. I think Partey might start the game
Mhm.
just for the control, but I
Yeah,
don't think he will get past 60 minutes. Me personally.
yeah, and it sounds crazy because it's a big game, but I think 70 minutes should probably be his max. Like he played against Burnley.
Mm.
Came on against Norwich, but changed the game really when he
Yeah,
came on. Played well against Burnley. His distribution's good. Like he started the season okay, and then
shots was on target.
yeah, for once.
Hmm.
And then his last game, well, AFC Wimbledon, which I think it was a stupid decision to play him, but he
Mm.
decided he wanted to play
Yep.
and he got through 60 minutes unscathed. So I think not to rock the boat so he don't get injured again, because we haven't even had the chance to see the best of him because he's in and out of the team injured. So
Yeah.
play 70 minutes and take him off, I think, even though it's the biggest game probably of our season.
Yeah.
Like there's other games, like there's 32, 31 games left after this.
Mm.
So he should, yeah, play. I agree, 60, 70 minutes, then take him off. Maybe even change the formation or something and
Mm.
just edit it so he can get some much needed rest. He needs it.
And what do you reckon for left back? Because I mean, is Tenny 100%? They're saying that the whole team's 100%, right?
Yeah, so Tierney came off last week because of cramp, apparently.
Okay.
So he is shout out to KD. Spurs about to body you, man. Jesus Christ. Thanks for the vote of confidence, KD. Appreciate it, mate. Um,
Always love.
but yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get body. It's gonna be an interesting game, though. I'll say that. But yeah, back to Tierney. I
Hmm.
think he's fit. Whether he's 100% fit again, you don't know. He's another one since he's joined. He's fit 1 minute, he isn't the next.
Hmm.
So I hope he's 100% fit and it's just a cramp and it's not like another muscle injury or something like that. But say this, Tavares going forward, not bad.
Listen, he loves it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that guy. Like, if he sees a bit of space, he's running into that. And if he
yeah,
sees an opening for a shot, like he'll crack it. And it doesn't matter if it's far outside of the box. He's having a go.
yeah.
So I think he's confident like that. He's
Mm-hmm.
confident in his abilities. I think he just really wants to show it and get and stamp his place in the first team.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting if he does come on later on as an added bit of pace and as an extra threat towards goal rather than as an assist. So
yeah.
but yeah, that back line as well. I mean, Arteta's kind of mixed and matched it up a couple times this season already. How do you
Mm-hmm.
reckon we'll start off? Do you reckon it'll be a back four, back three?
I think it'll be a back four. I think it'll be a back four. I think Gabriel and Ben White will start again. Tomiyasu will start right back and Tierney will start left back. Do you think it almost be Tomiyasu will almost tuck in like when we don't have the ball, just to kind of compensate because Ben White isn't the best in the air. He's good at other
Yeah,
aspects, but he's not. That air is just it's not his
yeah.
thing.
And we've kind of been
Um,
seeing that in previous games. Tommy Yasu doing that
yeah,
little
yeah.
bit of movement inside into the center of position.
Which is why I hear we chose him over because we were linked with like Lamptey and Max Aaron's,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
because they're like 5'3", like it would be a problem on that side because Ben
yeah,
White plays on the right side of centre back, and
yeah,
then Lamptey is cold to me, like he's cold, but yeah, he's been out for a year near enough,
mm,
and he's tiny, so yeah, Tomiyasu
yeah,
can kind of help out Ben White when it comes to those headers because he's good in the air, like really good in the air.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think those will be the usual suspects. I think it'll be four at the back, but yeah, Tomiyasu will tuck in. But what do you think? Do you think we'll start the same?
I think he will start with as a back four. I
Mhm.
think he will do that. I think he might turn into put it as a three later on if there's no if he needs more of an attacking threat.
Yeah.
But I think yeah, he'll start with a four. In the middle, I think it will be starting with Xhaka and Partey.
Mhm.
Um, mm, Out wide now. This is
It's an
where it
interesting
comes.
one, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's very interesting because the game against Wimbledon showed that some of the lads have still got, you know what I mean, a lot to prove, and they're showing themselves. I mean, Saka and Smith Rowe look good together in the game, and they'll probably be wanting to put their names forward to be starting that game ago, especially against Tottenham.
Mm.
Um, but at the same time, Pepe is the threat at Arsenal right now as well. You know,
Yeah,
Martinelli had a good game in the cup. You know, I think he got an assist as well. He was a threat constantly down the right and the left hand side. Um,
it's good to
so
hear.
yeah, so obviously Lacazette was on the score sheet as well. Will he start? I don't know.
That
Um,
was actually one of my questions to you because you're a Lacazette advocate, I'd say.
yeah.
Me, not so much anymore. I was at a time, but not so much anymore. But Aubameyang was dropped for the last North London derby or competitive one.
Mm.
He's fit now and he scored once so far this season. But who would you start?
I mean, it's a physical game, and you know what? Lacazette loves a London derby. He bangs goals in the derbies.
He
Yeah,
does.
he bangs goals against Tottenham. Um, I'd always say him because of the competitiveness of the game. and the physicality. I think he's just up for it, and he's more compatible for it. But at the same time, hearing him with links to Barcelona today as well.
Is it? It
Yeah, I heard
started
that.
again.
The links to Barcelona on a free. I saw as well. So, it's is he gonna start in a game when in reality Arteta's trying to get rid of him? Do you know what I mean? Or is he gonna go for aubameyang, who is his main man, who he wants to kickstart the season, and who he's invested in for the next 2 years? You know,
Yeah.
so I prefer to see Lacazette up top, but with Spurs playing the way that they are, look, I don't think Aubameyang can handle the strength of a Tanganga. Yeah, if in that sort of battle, it's definitely going to have to be something where he beats him on pace, which I think he can do, and I think he can outsmart him as well, because I think he's quicker on his feet. So yeah, Aubameyang does stand a chance, but for the physical battle, I think Lacazette will be the pick all the time.
You think we'll see both? Aubameyang to his position on the left, which has had success and no success at the same time. Would you put him on the left in this game and put Lacazette through the middle?
I probably would, but I don't think Arteta will. I think he will be looking to the games that have just gone by. I think he'll be definitely wanting to start with Odegaard down as a cam position.
Yeah.
So he's looking on the left, he's looking on the right, he's thinking, okay, I've got Pepe, I've got Saka, I've got Smith Rowe, I've got Martinelli. Yeah, and I just can't see him putting Aubameyang there thinking that he's gonna do a better job than those four. Any of those.
Yeah, I hear you. Like, I can't see it either. I think last season we saw Aubameyang like isolated on the left a lot. He's still isolated up top, but there's more chance to like get his traditional one chance, and he 7 out of 10 at times he'll score it. So yeah, I can't see him playing from the left. I think that was more a thing we had to do at the time, and he adapted quite well when Arteta first joined. Then had some trouble last season. But all right, do you want to do the prediction for this game now and move on, or do you want to do this at the end? How do you want to do this?
Man, let's do this now and keep it moving.
All right, what do you think the score will be?
Okay, so being a Palace fan, yeah, I'm looking at these two Londoners, these North Londoners. Now, it's hard to say because I can't trust Arsenal.
I feel you.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? And as much as I want to say something that what I really actually feel might happen, which Arsenal might win 2-0, I think that. I just also think Kane bangs goals and Arsenal are Arsenal. Which Arsenal are we going to get? So I'm not too sure. But 2-0 Arsenal.
Bold. 2-0. All right.
Don't say it's bold. Trust me, behind in here, I'm just like, why are you even saying this?
You know what? I'm gonna back you up on that. I'm gonna say 2-0 as well. I think as much as Spurs or Kane has fun against us normally, I think we'll shut him out. I hope he carries his form of this season or his 2 games he's played into this game, and he's completely uninterested.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's hope that that's what actually happens and we actually win 2-0. Fingers crossed and all that. And
may he carry the burdens of his woes.
Yep. Oh man. But yeah, there's other big games, I guess. There's an early title clash. Let's get to that one then. So there's Chelsea and City, Tuchel versus Pep. Tuchel's had the upper hand as of late, and Chelsea are undefeated, I believe, this season so far. Drawn a game, but they're undefeated. So how do you see this one going? This is a battle of like 2 masterminds, I'd say.
Look, before I would have said City all day long. Yeah. But I mean, and I'm not even looking at Lukaku. I'm looking at the other players, the midfield players, and the strikers who are scoring around her. I mean, um, uh, 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 what's his name now?
Werner.
Werner
Mm.
scored finally. He's back on the score sheet. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
It's
Welcome
true.
back.
It's been a minute, my
Or shall
guy.
we say welcome? Have you really ever arrived? But he's here. He's landed. You know what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say? Earlier this season than he did last. So,
yeah.
I don't think goals ain't a problem for Chelsea. And even when they have games that they ain't playing too well in, like they did against Villa. I mean, look at the goal score. The goal gap. It was 3-0. I think they finished up,
Yeah,
didn't it?
it did. Finished
So
3-0.
like usually if you like you're a good squad if you can play poorly and win like 1-0 or something. They won 3-0. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And City,
Look at John. Look at this guy. He's ditched us for Ronaldo. Not even you're not a United fan, John. You are a Ronaldo fan.
and that is it. We know about you, John. We know about you. But yeah, they're not struggling for goals. I mean, look, they play when they play average, they bang out three. When they play good, it's fours and fives. So they're doing. I think Chelsea are a stronger squad this season at the moment than City. I think they've got a little bit more depth in regards to different positions as well. But I do think in regards to City, I mean, look at them. They drew at Southampton. I
They
mean,
did.
okay, Raheem was on. It was unlucky that Raheem's goal didn't count, but they drew at Southampton. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They haven't been playing too well. They're in
Yeah,
need of a striker. I mean, Torres has been the only one looking really dangerous out of their front line, to me anyway.
fair
And
point.
um, I just think Tuchel's got Pep number. He just knows. It's like he's just clocked him. It's like I've done you. Like I've done you bare times. I know even when you try to pull something out of the bag, I know what it is. You can't do me. And I think Pep has never beat Tuchel as well. I think Tuchel's beat him all the time everywhere he's gone.
I think you might be right. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't remember a time that Pep has beaten Tuchel, and
I
then it
think
was 3 times or something last year
yeah,
in like quick succession, 2 or 3 times. I can't remember.
yeah, exactly.
But
So yeah, cup
yeah,
and league. So and then in the final, I mean, look, come on. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, it's all right. To play devil's advocate, we know that there's not a more meticulous manager than Pep. So, do you think he'll have a contingency because he's lost to Tuchel in 2 big games last season?
Look, normally I would say yes because I know what he's like, but
Mm.
there was even an episode with him and Klopp, and he was like, "Oh, because Klopp has beaten him, do you think he's gonna come back up?" And he didn't. He didn't. Klopp beat him again. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Same with Tuchel. Oh, Tuchel beat him. Thing is this revenge for him now? This time is the Champions League final where he's finally gonna get the revenge that he needs. Gonna get the victory. Nope. No. No, that's what it was. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not happening. I know exactly what you're gonna do. I don't think Pep can tactically beat Tuchel yet. I think he still needs to
Ooh,
watch how Tuchel plays more, man. I
that's
think he
a
needs
hot
to.
take.
Yeah, I think Pep can eventually because that's what he does. But I think Tuchel's got his number right about now.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know.
I know it's heavy words. I know it's heavy words.
That's interesting. Yeah, Tuchel's definitely had his number so far. I don't know how City are gonna approach this game. I don't know if KDB is gonna be their false nine, Sterling's gonna be their false nine. I don't know how
Mhm.
they're gonna start, or if they're gonna start with a natural number 9 because Jesus can play there. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be an interesting game. Like what I've noticed with Tuchel is he's really good at like subs in game.
Mm,
So like when it looks like something's not quite working, he'll quick little tweak at halftime, 50 minutes, 55 minutes, and then
mm,
they go and win the game. Like last week is a perfect example. Like it was pretty much a stalemate.
yep.
And then before you know it, they ran away with it.
Yeah.
I think they did score in the first half, but it didn't look like the best of the games. It looked like Spurs could maybe get back into it, and
Yeah.
Chelsea went and ran away with it, 3-0 winners, and it could have been more if Kovacic wasn't messing around at the end and just not wanting to shoot.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. I think Mount's missing for Chelsea. That's already come out.
Yeah.
So he won't be playing. So I think it depends on that midfield. Like, I think that Kante, Jorginho, and Kovacic midfield is playing well at the moment.
I think it's working.
Yeah, I saw some stupid stuff comparing them to like Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets. I said social media's got to stop this.
It does. It does.
you
Grow up.
gotta stop
Social
this.
media. Grow the hell up. Social media. Had enough of this shit.
Like, I could 3-4 good games, and now you're better than probably the best midfield trio ever.
You know what I'm trying to say? This time, a couple of them men they even played last season. So come on,
I'm
man.
saying that's crazy. But yeah, that game, I think it depends on who plays in the middle. Like, I think John even mentioned it last time. Fernandinho. I think I even mentioned it maybe Charity Shield or Community Shield, whatever you want to call it. Is the first time I saw Fernandinho, his legs are slightly going, and it's natural. Like, he's been putting in pain in the Premier League for about 8 years. He's 36, I believe. He's one of the best DMs for me. I could probably say at this point he'll probably be in my like top 5, top 6, maybe top 7 ever.
100%.
Supremely underrated there, but he probably shouldn't start this game. Chelsea, like, kind of dynamic in that midfield. They got Kante, who's got like 3 lungs and 7 hearts. There's better stuff going on. Like, you can't get around him. Kovacic, and that make up for Jorginho's lack of athleticism. So it's going to be interesting to see, man.
And Kovacic is on fire lately as well, man. He's been performing.
This is his best streak in a Chelsea shirt, I think. At times, you can see his quality. Like, he can always play. Like, he's just that kind of player. He's tidy, but it seems like he's really found himself. And even when you say like Mason Mount's good season last year, listen, if Kovacic keeps this up, like, I don't know if Mason Mount plays as much. This season.
Yeah, and the thing is the thing I like about Tuchel is that he's not afraid to make those sort of decisions as well. If he sees something ain't working or that something is working better, he's gonna put it in because his ultimate goal is to win the game. You know, and Kovacic has been playing really well. He's finally kind of living up to the name that he kind of built up beforehand, and everyone thought he was gonna be when he arrived at Chelsea. And like you said, it's like he's finally found himself. He's confident on the ball. He knows his ability, and he's doing what he knows he can do on the pitch, whether it's a through ball, whether it's a goal, whether even if it's twisting up, man, but definitely getting stuck in as well, putting a tackle. He's not afraid. Do you know what I mean? Very good midfielder. And I don't think, other than Fernandinho, I don't think City have got a player like that in their team that will get stuck in the midfield. You know, so
KDB is one of them who does, but again, we don't know if he's even going to start. Like, he's not fully fit. Gundogan he's good on the ball. He's not as like strong in the challenge as like Kovacic, as you said. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting battle. Maybe they even play Grealish in there. Who knows? You never know what Pep's going to do.
Do you know what? I think it's going to be it has to be a battle of midfield and a containment of Lukaku. I think when Lukaku's contained, Chelsea look like a team that looks, if you might get there, you can beat them. Yeah, because that's what the last few games have been done when Chelsea have kind of looked mediocre, but they've got the win. But you'd say it's a bit of a lackluster performance from them. I mean, look, they had 2 midfielders score and a defender, I think, last game in the season. So that's what City's going to have to try and force. They're going to have to try and hold down Lukaku, force the midfield to possibly go on the attack and then catch them on the break.
Yeah, I'd say the game, like you said, is probably won in midfield. And if City want to stand a chance, they got to isolate Marcus Alonso, because he's like, he's a really strange player. Like, as a left back, if you say he's a left back, he's dead. Like, he's not quick. He gets burnt all the time, makes bad decisions. when you put him as a left wing back and he's got that support like of
Yeah.
3 centre-backs, he's cold going forward. And I don't
Yeah.
even know how. Like
Yeah.
he's not
It's like he
quick.
turns into a different player.
Yeah, like Tekers, he can
Mm.
shoot free
Yep.
kicks. He's
Yep.
tall, so he can head up. Like he nearly nicked a goal again last week.
Yeah.
Just I think it was cleared off the line in the end. But him going forward or exposing maybe Rudiger more, and if Sterling or someone plays on the right or Mahrez, someone who's tricky, then City might get joy, or more joy. Like I think that's what we should have done when we played them. Like try and get Pepe in those one-on-one situations more.
Yeah.
He wasn't really on it that game. He did it once or twice. Then he just kind of like went back in his cocoon and just allow it for the rest of the game. But
Yeah.
if you got a tricky wide player and you got a left back that loves to bomb forward and hates defending, then you kind of got to get him in that space and get him on the back foot, I think,
Yeah.
to get some success.
City do have the ingredients for that. In
Facts.
Mahrez and in Raheem, in Torres, even in Grealish, you know what I'm trying to say, even if he wants to throw them out there. So they do
Yeah.
have the DNA for it. It's just whether they will be able to. And you know what? It's not like City are playing bad. I mean, they smashed their cup game, I think. But yeah, and they didn't have a good game against Southampton. The game before that they had wasn't too exciting as well. But they are City as well at the same time. They can pull it out of the bag. They have top quality players. They've got £100 million men in their squad. So, anything can happen.
Would
Anything
you
can happen.
make of Grealish's start? Because, like you said, £100 million man. Bunch of people saying he ain't worth the money, all of that kind of stuff. Like, would you make of his start so far?
I'm not one of them. I think he's actually had a good start. I think for someone who's has the burden of that on their shoulders to come into an already elite squad
Yeah,
to outdo them in value wise, and to say that I am better than you, even though he's not better than some of them, but he's come into there and his money's saying he's better. So he's now got that on his shoulders, that in his mind. He's got the fans' expectations. He's got everyone's wanting him to lose, but at the same time, everyone loving him because he's, Jack Grealish. So he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and I think the boys rose to attention. I think he just lapped it all up, soaked in the atmosphere, said, "This is where I'm meant to be." And when he gets on the ball, he's City's most dangerous player. Every time he touches the ball, he's the most dangerous player. When he's off the ball, the other players get involved, but as soon as he touches the ball, the other team know about it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
He's had a good score. He's got a couple goals. I don't know if he got assist. I think he's got an assist already. Yeah.
yeah.
So
He's got a goal too.
yeah, he's got a goal as well. So I think he's had a good start, especially if you compare him to not putting him down, but if you compare him to Sancho,
We're gonna get to him in
Polar.
a bit,
Yeah.
but he said Polar. But I think Grealish is like the chat says, smash the lights, people, if you're in here. But yeah, Grealish, I think I agree. He's had a good start. I was worried, well, not worried, but because everyone said he's like a big fish in a small pond. Can he make the transition? Seems like more of the same. He's not scared to get on the ball. Even in the first game against Spurs, there's a lot of pressure, but I just like a player who's willing to take the ball and take on people.
Yeah.
He's not phased by things. Like he's willing to get on the ball. He's got his Champions League goal. He's played well in that game against Leipzig. Played well in the Prem so far. I do think his game's gonna have to change a bit. Under Pep, especially because whilst you are the most fouled player and you don't lose the ball that much when you're on it, you got to move the ball quicker. If you want to create more opportunities, you're not a Villa anymore. No disrespect, you're not playing with a Bertrand Traore who's more unpredictable. You're playing with certified man. And you're playing with KDB in that. So it's time. Your game's gonna have to change a bit.
100%. And there's been a few times in the opening games that he's City have gone on a quick attack, and when it's come to him, he's kind of slowed it down because he
Does that a
waits.
lot.
He wants to do a man, do a man, do a man, and then it's not like he'll do a man and go forward. Sometimes he'll do a man and then pass it back to the back line.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Let's start again,
yeah.
or he misses a lot of runs. There's a lot of runners that go on the outside of him or on the inside, and he misses that because he's doing two man before he wants to play the ball forward as well.
Yeah.
But he's won two connections with the in the build up play with his players is really good. You know,
Hmm.
they read each other, and he's good at receiving it. He's just not too good at giving it when he don't want to.
I'm gonna be intrigued to see if they all play like Grealish, Foden, KDB, because that's like a lot of creativity on one pitch.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would like to see it, but I don't know what Grealish's future is. I don't know if he's gonna stay on the wing or if maybe he can move into like centre midfield, which I think he could do
Mm.
if he learns when to release it, or Pep gives him more instructions to say, listen, my guy, you can't keep doing this. You can't just keep
Yeah.
holding on to the ball because you're gonna get punished one day.
And
Um,
unless he works on his finishing game and Pep turns him into Messi, and then he has a free role position, but who knows?
yeah. But yeah, I think he's made the move at the right time. Like I was for a while you're thinking, because remember like 5, 6 years ago he was linked with Spurs and
Yeah.
he didn't go in the end. And you're thinking, this guy might have missed the boat, man. Maybe he should have made the jump.
Yeah.
But 25, probably the right age to make your
Yeah.
move.
Yeah, I'm not
Because
gonna lie. I thought he was gonna be the new Noble at West Ham. He's gonna be for West
club
Ham.
legend.
I thought he was gonna be that for Villa. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I thought he
Yeah.
was gonna be that guy that just stays here forever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stevie G. But no, he done. I think I agree as well. He done the right thing, man. Done the right thing
Yeah.
for a young like in this time as well. This era, definitely done the right thing. I mean, this is the era of money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Facts.
And he
Money
jumped in.
and a lot of pressure, which segues into our next guy, Jadon
Hmm.
Sancho.
All
So
right.
he's been getting he's been getting killed a lot this week, especially.
Mm,
See one post on what's that Instagram page? The football one. It's 360 TV. That's it.
yeah.
Salute to them. So they were posting that listen, we're not giving in to pressure on Jadon Sancho. We're not gonna call him a flop because it's a month into the season. So can we have some time before we call this guy a flop when he's a
Hmm.
21-year-old kid?
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, social media, they don't play games, man. So they've been lighting him up all week.
Yeah.
Uh, Trying to say it's the move's too big. He can't adjust his game, etc., etc., etc. But what do you make of it?
Look, how would we know if he can adjust his game? He hasn't exactly had a lot of game time. Yeah. And
238 minutes to be
look,
exact.
yeah, so come on, man. That's that's not a lot at all for you to be saying, okay, someone is a flop. I
Mm,
agree with the 360 guys. Shout out to them. That it is too early to start calling people flops and putting a label on the guy. Do you know what I mean? Let a
yeah.
guy get into the play, learn his craft, learn what Solskjaer actually wants from him in a game to play a
Mm,
position that is outside of what he normally does with a new role. You know, these things take time. There's a lot of time that people, you know, they'll join a job and it will take them ages to learn their craft. Do you know what
mm-hmm.
I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
If it's that easy, why does it take you 2 3 years to get promoted? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like everything takes time. So I just think because of the money, the pressure, the longevity of the battle of for the transfer,
Facts.
um, the media coverage, how well he did in Germany as well is a big factor as well because like in reality, he kind of overachieved. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
He lit it
Like
up.
he blew up the place. Like and he's an to the fact that even in the Euros, the German media was going crazy that he wasn't starting for England. Do you know what I'm trying
Mm-hmm.
to say? So like
Mm-hmm.
he all of that kind of didn't help this situation which is right now. It doesn't look like he's found his feet. Doesn't really know what position he's playing. He's very quiet in the game. He does look like a guy who's in a circle full of geniuses and he doesn't feel so much of a genius anymore. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like he does fade in the background in the game. And
Mm.
that alone is worrying. That is the only worrying thing for me. And the reason why I say it is because when you just join a new club, you kind of want to show yourself more. You actually come out, you probably might do a little bit too much until people say, well, calm down, learn your game. This is what we need for you. That's good. But do you know what I mean? Like Ronaldo did, he was all tippy tappy until he's like, look, you don't need all of that. We can
Mm.
use some of that, but this is what we really need for you. And then he could adapt his game.
Yeah.
I think it's similar. It's a similar thing, man. And but yeah, you can't condemn the kid. I think you got to give him more time. I mean, if come January he's not a starter for United, and it's a Van de Beek situation where he's not even getting minutes, then
Mm.
let's talk.
I think I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I think the criticism is a bit unjust. Like, I know it's been a month, but Sancho's played essentially what, 2 games, 2.5 games.
Hmm.
238 minutes is what, little over 2.5 games. You barely played, really.
Yeah.
Um, you've gone from playing like in Germany, like kind of like if you watch Dortmund, they kind of play like he kind of has a free role. Like he kind of does what he wants. He's allowed to try things and they not come off. And then you've got the benefit of an absolute murderer up front, a
Yeah.
young murderer.
Yeah.
So Haaland scored 66 goals in 66 games for Dortmund. So that kind of shows you what he's about over there.
That is crazy. And if anyone doesn't think he's world class already, they're just
That boy
crazy.
is dangerous. Like when like those kind of guys you can put pressure on. The Haalands, then the Mbappe's, the superstars, like
Yeah.
the born superstars, I hear the pressure. Sancho, whilst he is probably top of the young crop, I think he should still be given time. Like he went to Germany. Like I think you're right. He kind of did overachieve because he kind of killed it almost straight away.
Hmm.
And he went from like this young prodigy at City to like, oh, why did Pep sell this guy? He seems to be a young prodigy that was like 10 million. And like, is he gonna work over there? He lit it up. But to come into Man United teams, there's Ronaldo, there's Fernandez, there's Pogba, there's big egos in that team. And to top it all off, like he has an ego, but he's not the typical winger. Like he's not
Mm.
get to the byline cross.
Yeah.
He's not like he kind of slows play down and speeds it up on his own
Yeah.
like accord. Like it's a bit different. So he's kind of like a build-up winger from out there. So I think it's gonna take a while for everyone to get on like his frequency too, because the way he plays is kind of slow. Like it's not like it's similar to like a Grealish in a way, just without the consistent take-ons. Just in terms of like how you slow down the game. Like he loves doing that kind of stuff. Like he'll have the ball, he'll slow it down, he'll pop a pass in field, he'll then make the run outside, and that's how he like dictates the speed of the game. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's right that, or it's not right that he gets the pressure he does. Again, if you get to, I'd even go past January. I say if you get to like 28, 29 games in and he's not looking sharp yet, I still like to give players about a year, 18 months, but it's more cause for concern if you're a fan, if you can't see any path to like success with him when it gets to like March, February, because yeah, that's I guess the business end of the season, and you'd want it to click, especially
Yeah.
because like you said, it took a long time to get him. It's like what 18 months we all knew about this, and it just wasn't happening. So yeah, man, I think all fans should just give him time, man. Like I think even 360 mentioned that the Havertz situation was perfect. Like Havertz is another one who got called a flop early on. He had
Yeah.
COVID, and people were still calling him. They didn't care.
Yeah.
This guy's a sheg. Like this guy was killing it at Leverkusen, and now he's here. He ain't doing nothing. And
It's a
look
cold
how the
world.
season ended up. Yeah,
Yeah.
ended up with Champions League final goal, and he looked to click by the end of the season.
Yeah. And that's facts. And do you know what? I think what a lot of people are not taking into consideration as well is that, I mean, the Ronaldo effect as well at Manchester United. I mean, look, he's coming, he's hit the ground running. He's coming, he's
Yeah.
showing them what it's really all about. Sancho was supposed to be that guy coming, but nah. Ronaldo's just come. You in the
Facts.
back. Get in the
Yeah.
back, bro. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, well, you picking up Ronaldo, yeah? Yeah, you gotta get in the back. You gotta ride in the
Yeah,
back.
bro.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So
You have to sit in the middle too, even
yeah,
though
in
there's
the
no
middle,
seats next to
exactly,
you.
exactly. Yeah, and the man there next to you got big thighs, so you got problems. You just go, you know what I'm trying to
Just
say.
squashed up
And
eating a burger.
that's a proper depiction of what it looks like is going on at Man United with Sancho right now. He's
You
been thrown
reckon?
into the middle seat in the back, but it's not like a normal car. It's a 7-seater, so that's the back. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And he's in the middle of that seat. He's not
But the
even
boss man
supposed
has
to.
to lift up the seat for you.
Not even
Oh,
supposed to be in
mate.
the whip. That's one extra. Do you know what I'm trying to
Oh,
say?
mate.
So that's why he looks a bit crunched up right now. But yeah, he's got to be given a lot of time. Do you know what I mean? He's got to
Yeah.
be given a lot of time. I think the Ronaldo effect has actually helped him as well. The fact that a lot of eyes are on him and taking their eyes off of Sancho. To be honest, I think they're more happy. People are more happy to see Ronaldo play than to care whether Sancho has flopped.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Yeah. Because, yeah, this Ronaldo coming back and him being successful so far, it's
Hmm.
just like, it's a huge story. Like, everyone's happy. Like, even if you're not a Man United fan, like, it's just nice to see him come back and still score goals. And
Yeah,
it's kind of like really evolved from the player we knew when he left. Like, he was a killer when he left. Like, of course he was, but
yeah,
it was a different kind of killer.
yeah. Now he's a
Now,
seasoned vet
yeah,
sniper.
now it's mad. Now he's just not even goal hang. He's just smart movement in the box
That's all
and
it is.
notching,
Yeah, that's
notching.
all it is. And that I think it's moves like the movement that he's been making over the last few games is the thing that's gonna probably give United the victory this weekend over Aston Villa, if there is gonna be a victory for them, because Villa ain't no slop, they ain't no
They ain't slouches.
you know what I mean, they're not slouches,
Nah.
they're actually pulling it out of the bag this season. You
Hmm.
know, with everyone was laughing at Arsenal. How are you man letting Aston Villa beat you to signings, outbid you? Want man to come to Villa, but look at Villa. Villa were building.
That
They
blueprint looks nice, isn't it?
it looks. You know what I'm trying to say? They're
Because
building,
they've got
and it's working.
Buendia, Ings, and Bailey, and they went for
Mm.
Ward Prowse too. Like
Yep.
Smith Rowe was like, all right, cool. Let's see if we can get this young boy. Maybe a little cheeky. Buendia is cold.
Yep.
Bailey is cold.
Mm.
Ings is cold. Like
Yep.
that is a good way to spend your money after losing Grealish.
Yep.
Because Buendia is probably 40 mil or close to. Bailey's like 25, 30 mil, and Ings maybe about the same. Like
Yeah.
that kind of makes up the 100 mil, and you've used it well. And you already
Yeah.
got good players. There's McGinn, there's Ollie Watkins, who
Yep.
isn't a pretty player, but he can score.
He can score.
So yes, it's gonna be that's another one of those that's gonna be an interesting game. But before we get to well, actually before that, do you have anything more to add on that?
Um. No, I think Sancho needs to be given more time,
Mm,
and that's that. I think people are just. I think because we're living in the age of, uh, uh everything happens so instantly and things changing so rapidly. I mean, with social media, I mean, you scroll up every 20 seconds. Do you know what I mean? Maximum. So the attention span of every individual is shorter, and their patience is a lot shorter than it was
mm,
before. I mean, they don't know about back in the day, bro, where we couldn't see like a music video or anything like that for time, or download or stream a whole album. But we knew an album was coming because we saw it advertised on the album of someone else at the
mm-hmm.
back. What one's coming next, or Source Mag or something like that, and then we had to anticipate that and wait. And do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
And take our time with that.
Different
With
conditioning,
that
man.
era's gone, man. They ain't got no patience for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Fast
why they
food.
ain't got no patience for Central, and that's why they're focusing. They jump with the stories and the attention span that they have. This
I
week it's
agree.
Sancho. Next week it's going to be back on Fred and McTominay. Week after that it's going to be has Ronaldo and Fernandez fallen out. It's going to be, you know what I mean, and
You
that's just
can
how it is.
You're right. You can almost like it seems like the headlines are probably pre-written at this point.
Yeah,
Like, let's just make 20 headlines, write some stories on it, and when the story drops, send it out.
yeah. I mean,
Because
because what did Sancho have to do with anything? Man, it's just
he
like
just got dragged in.
he just got dragged in from nowhere. Like
It's a
United
hey,
been doing
checked.
well, been scoring goals, been doing all right. So again, they're not gonna win a cup. Again, they're gonna have a season with under social cup plus. That's another cup that they're going out with. They've got a couple more cups that they're gonna be involved with, but that's just another competition that they're out of again.
Yeah.
Again. That's the thing that's not looking good.
It's techie for him. Yes, to Jalil's comment, he said, "Why does Sancho get more time?" Basically, the age for one. Been acclimated to a new league because he's come from a Dortmund team to a marquee signing at Manchester United. Kind of have to give him time.
And why
Like
wouldn't you give him time?
you have to. I think you give everyone time. That's what you
Yeah.
should do. Like Pepe got time from me, even though his time might be slightly up now.
You
Because
should have been here by now.
I'm seeing the same traits of what I saw in the first season, like good promise, and then you don't kick on from that. But
Yeah.
Sancho is literally 21 years of age. Like he needs time, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But yeah, you brought up a good point on Ollie. They're out of another cup.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's just the League Cup, it's something to help you keep your job.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm just gonna read out Manchester United's next few games, yeah. So it may be about I'm gonna read out maybe about 13, 14 games. But I just wanna just everyone to understand that this is a very dangerous run that they've got coming up. So it starts tomorrow. Manchester United against Villa, Champions League match day 2, United against Villarreal, followed by Manchester United against Everton. Leicester against United is the next game after that, 2 weeks later. Then the rematch of Manchester United versus Atalanta. Then Manchester United against Liverpool. Then Manchester United against Spurs away. Then away at Atalanta. And then the Manchester derby is following that. So Manchester United against Man City. And then Watford, Manchester United. And then there's a few more tough games. So it's Villarreal against Manchester United again. Chelsea against United, and then Man United against Arsenal. So that is up until the 30th of November. And that is what? Let's see, how many games is that? 4, 8, 12, 13 games or 12 games from the Man United Arsenal fixture. Do you think Ollie is in a job by the Arsenal game?
Jeez. Those games back to back, it sounds like bullying.
It's mad. Like, I didn't even realize it was that crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I
There's
thought
no
Man
easy
United
game.
fans,
There's no
yeah,
stroll in the park game.
I thought Man United fans were just being the same old moany guys. Like you've been the top guys for so long, and you're playing victim. But this is a crazy like sequence of games.
Listen, it all depends on what he can do with that squad because they've got the ability to walk through those teams. Will they do it? I mean, look at their last few matches. I mean, the cup game out, Champions League loss. You know, like these are things that I mean, Ollie ain't doing himself any favors. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but if he can get the team clicking and can get those players playing together with the fluidness that we know they can play with when they're on form, I think United are contenders for the Premier League title. Like I honestly believe that because I'm not just looking at Ollie and saying, okay, they've got Ronaldo there. Yeah, and I'm not saying he's the manager, but he's a manager. He manages people. He controls it. He's a captain. He's a leader, and he's a winner as well. So if he's influential there, and you can tell it. He's whispering in Ollie's ear all the time. Yeah. So I think they've got enough leaders in that team. Yeah, and temp leaders in that team in order to pull something out of the bag. You look at the list of teams that they're playing and think, wow, that's going to be peak for United or peak for anyone else, should I say. If it was Arsenal, it would be written. Yeah. But I honestly think United can get through the majority of that. And I think by Arsenal, I think Ollie will be there. I think they like him. I think they're going to play for him. I think they're going to put it out of the bag. They've got the players to do it. And somehow he brings out he just can't play McTominay and Fred anymore. That's what it is. He just can't do that no more. If he doesn't do that anymore, I think they've got a chance.
McFred.
Yeah, it's not working. It hasn't worked. Like, stop it.
It's mad. It's crazy. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like that run of games is horrible, and if because what seems to happen, this is like what I think has happened since Ollie's taken over. They get pulled out from moments of brilliance a lot. Whether
Mm,
it's Rashford, it's Pogba, it's Fernandes, Martial's done it at certain points where these players just have a moment of brilliance and they go and score a goal. Even the last game against West Ham, like granted to Ollie, he made the sub, so Lingard came on, but that's another moment of brilliance that gets you out of the game
mm.
where a guy just like top draw goal like out of nowhere and you get another 3 points. That happened a lot last year,
Yeah.
whether it was last minute penalties or moments of brilliance. So I don't know if that can always be the way of you winning games. Like I feel Man United are more quick to beat the bigger teams because
Hmm.
they counter attack. So those bigger teams like the cities and whatnot who make 400-500 passes a game, they're gonna dictate wherever they're at home or away.
Yeah.
So you can kind of just nick the ball and you've got the players to go and punish them. Like you've got the Rashfords when he's fit. You've got Sancho. You've got CR7. You've
Yeah.
got Pogba and Fernandes to find them. So it's it's like it's almost a cheat code against the big teams because they always seem to do well against the big teams because they can do that. But the smaller teams is where they seem to struggle. So where the team you're expected to dominate a lot of the time,
Mm.
and you're so used to counter attacking, I don't know how they're going to break down teams because of course you have Ronaldo at the end of it, but even with those players that we named, that the quality players they have, they still seem to have a problem getting the ball to some of these players some of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really don't know if he'll be here or he might be under severe pressure. I'd say
Mm.
by the Arsenal game. I'll say he probably won't be sacked because I agree with you. I think they like him. I think he's the wall between board and fan.
Hmm.
So he's like a safe bet. So I think he'll still be in a job, but yeah, I think he'll be in pressure, under pressure.
I think out of the two managers at that moment in the league, I think Arteta will be under more pressure.
Yeah, I can see that just because of the volatile Arsenal fan base. Like,
Yeah.
you know, our fan base already. Like, it was Arteta out probably by second game.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
then it's
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of, yeah, it's
I mean,
kind of more quiet.
I threw my hands up at the third game. I was like, "Ah, I had enough.
But
I've
yeah,
had it. I've had enough of this. I'm one of them. I'm to blame now. I'm part of that. I'm part of that mold now. They made me like that. I
oh,
wasn't always like this, but I had enough. My patience was up. I was like, forget Arsenal. They
but
don't deserve my emotion.
but then if we beat Spurs, that's gonna be a morale booster. People might still say Arteta out in their head, but it won't be so loud on like the social medias and that.
Yeah.
It'll kind of
Yeah.
calm down a bit.
It will calm down, and that's what happens when we beat Spurs. We calm down until the next game when we don't play too well, and then we're like, yeah, see,
Yeah.
same old Arsenal. But yeah, before we cut,
Yep.
we've got to go a quick run through the fixtures
Yeah. Let's do it.
this weekend. So we'll start by the top of the game. Uh, top of the weekend, Saturday early start, 12:30, Chelsea, Manchester City. What you got?
Uh, man, I'm gonna go 1-1. I'm gonna go draw.
Hmm. I was gonna go 1-1 too because I can see it.
Yeah. I think they're gonna cancel each other out, man. The two managers.
But I'm a risk taker.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think Chelsea are gonna take it 2-1.
Okay.
I
All
think they're
right.
gonna do it. After that, the other 12:30 kickoff on Saturday is Manchester United against Aston Villa. What you
Mm.
got?
I'm gonna go with 3-1 United.
Jeez.
Um, I think they're gonna win this kind of convincingly. But what I think is gonna happen is they're gonna come unstuck in a few games in that run we just named.
Mm.
So this could be their most convincing 3 points for a while.
Jeez, you're visionary in this one. You can see how it's gonna pan out. I've I've just got it as 1-1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty bored. You know what I mean? I was thinking, like it's gonna be a kind of a stalemate. I think it's gonna be a little battle in the midfield. I don't think the strikers are gonna have a field day against any of the back lines. Yeah, so I just think there'll be a struggle for goals because I don't think Villa's got what it takes, but I think United have been struggling at the moment. I just think it's gonna be shown clearly against Villa.
I agree. They've been struggling a bit.
Then we have the 3 o'clock kickoffs. We've got Everton versus Norwich.
Listen, man. I hate to
This is
say
hard.
it. Norwich are out here. I know you shouldn't make judgments this quickly,
No, I made that at the beginning of the season.
but I just
Shout
can't
out to
see.
CEO.
Shout out to you. Listen, boy, if it's not like Pookie scores once or twice, like it's not coming from anywhere else. I'm going 6-0 Everton.
Oh, bruv. 6. That's a piping, bruv. Everton even got it in them. I think they did pull out a big score line one time last season, didn't they? Look, I think I had Norwich as one of the clubs to go down. Like, bless them, they play their hearts out. They're just shit. So I just think they're going down. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think Everton's gonna have them, not 6, but I think they're gonna score 2. It's gonna be 2-0.
Oh man, listen, I need to put a bet down. I'm going with Everton 6-0.
6-0, that is wild, but yes, my brother, go forth and make your money.
Oh, funny,
So the next game after that, well, starting as well, also at 3 o'clock, is Leeds versus West Ham.
That's going to be a end-to-end game, I think. I'm going to go West Ham 3-2.
I'm going West Ham 3-1. Yeah, it's going to be a great game, though. I'm gonna be tuned into that one. Out of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, I'm watching that one.
Trust me.
We've got Leicester and Burnley. Oh, what a boring game.
Yeah, it's not going to be great. Leicester have had a weird start to the season. But, yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 Leicester. Vardy double.
Oh, yeah, they definitely got the ability to do it. When they've got the players, especially with was it Gray doing sick, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So but yeah, I just see a 1-1 draw. I just can't see it. I think Burnley just gonna stink up the place and it's just gonna be shit. Yeah, it's gonna be dead. So yeah. Watford Newcastle.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna go Watford 1-0. I think Steve Bruce is a bit of trouble over there, man. And they didn't give him no money to spend, so it's their own fault. But yeah, I'm gonna go 1-0 Watford.
Look, as I think Watford could win as well. I just feel like they're not going to. I think it's going to be a tight game, though. I think it's going to be 3-2 to Newcastle. And then we've got the late kickoff on Saturday, 5:30. It's Brentford versus Liverpool.
I think that stadium is going to cause some teams some problems, man. The same way it caused Arsenal problems, and we know it's Arsenal, so anyone can cause us problems. But that small stadium where everyone's on top of you, I'm going to go 1-1.
I'm going 2-2.
Okay.
Yeah, we had similar
thoughts.
Yeah. That stadium is peak. Their fans are brilliant. Do you know what I mean?
They're on it.
And Brentford are playing good. I had them to go down along with Norwich, but they're proving me wrong so far. They're playing really well. You know what I mean? I didn't expect this type of football that I've seen from them. They know how each other play, and they're playing with each other very well. All right, so Sunday's kickoffs, we've got starting at 2 o'clock with Southampton versus Wolves. Ugh.
Oh man, that don't sound great. Can't lie. I'm gonna go 0-0.
Bro, it's like we're just telepathic right about now. 0-0. It's written all over it. That's what I'm going for as well. And then On Sunday, we've got the London Derby, North London Derby.
The North London Derby.
Hey.
Where'd you come from?
Did someone mention North London Derby?
The North London Derby.
You come out of nowhere, bro.
Man just jumped on top of me and pushed me down and that. Yes, lads.
They'll jump on. We've been watching you, boys. Yeah. That was where the North London DJ come, man. We got to talk about the North London Derby, though, bro.
Say no more.
What's your thoughts on the North London Derby? What's your thoughts, bro?
All right, so lads, all I can say is, yeah, if Xhaka starts, we're finished.
Another Xhaka fan out here.
Oh man,
You're mad.
like granite.
You're mad. Man can't. What? Sideways. Can I be honest? If
But do you
Xhaka
think
plays,
he is going to start? Do you think he's going to start?
yeah,
Because he didn't start in the League Cup. And Partey started for no reason. I don't know.
that doesn't make sense.
I
Partey,
like that. It didn't make sense at all.
I didn't like it still. Like, even
That
if he
shows you
starts-
what he was going to set up with. That's what it was. I know Ramsdale. I feel like Ramsdale's going to start.
Oh yeah, definitely.
done it.
Leno is straight cup football from now on. But I think in regards to Partey, I mean, I heard that he said to Arteta, "I'm fit and I want to play." So Arteta said, "Okay, I'm gonna play you."
Oh, word.
Mistake.
wait, what? Wait, so
Yeah, I heard, yeah, and that's how I
Partey
heard
wanted
it.
the minutes. That's
Yeah,
what
he wanted to play because
Yeah,
he
he
needs the minutes, and he wanted
Yeah.
that 60 minutes under his belt before North London Derby. You still
Why
should
would
have
you-
said no as a manager.
Yeah.
They're confused. He said it don't make sense.
That makes sense. What do you
No.
mean? He needs to get minutes on his box.
It needs to get minutes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take a 60.
Would you
on
risk-
Wednesday,
You
though,
wouldn't risk him. You wouldn't risk him.
after all the injuries.
You wouldn't.
Boys,
I mean,
if Xhaka plays right in the derby, is that
Wait, hold on, wait.
it's not a negative thing.
Nah,
Let's
wait,
be real.
wait, hold on,
It's
wait,
not a
hold on,
bad
wait.
thing. Let's be real.
Someone get the odds on Xhaka scoring a hat trick.
Let me see if I can find that.
If I put them down on that, yeah, I tell you what, 1 Bitcoin, I'm done.
has Xhaka even scored 2 goals in the game?
Never.
But that's
Never.
that's not.
That's wild. That's wild.
Imagine.
That's the way it's about.
But no, man. I'll give you my predictions. I'm about to take off again, boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. Do you want us to take it from the top?
What? No. Yeah, should we just run through it quick? Do you want to run through it quick? I don't mind just running through it quick.
We just did so. We're just at Arsenal, Tottenham, and Palace and Brighton. That's all we got left. But we can run from the top so you can get it in if you want.
For it, and I'll quickly slam it down now. Go. I'll tell you now.
Well, you're here. Let's just might as well. All right. So, top of the weekend, Saturday, early start, 12:30, Chelsea, Man City.
Chelsea to win 2-1.
Lovely. Same. I had exactly the same. Then 12:30
We've got
start.
a Chelsea fan here. He said we're not going to. He said Chelsea are not going to concede at all.
Oh, clean sheet. Mendy's a
He
bad
said-
boy.
he
So
said-
he's been playing good.
1-0 game.
He said it's a 1-0. He said Chelsea 1-0.
Yeah, that's it.
Chelsea 1-0, yeah.
He said Chelsea 1-0.
No.
I'm saying 2-1. I'm saying 2-1.
I'm saying 2-1 as well. But I
Okay.
hear 1-0. Mendy's been playing really well as well. So he might keep a clean sheet.
Who you say 2-1 to? Rash. Who you saying 2-1 to?
Chelsea.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So and then we've got also top of the weekend, 12:30 start. Manchester United versus Aston Villa.
Who's at home?
The game before.
Who's at home?
Manchester United.
3-0.
Look at the stats, man.
United.
Jeez. 3-0 United. Jalil's got down. All right, and we've got the next game, all the 3:00 kickoffs. We've got Everton versus Norwich.
No, it's done for, bro. I'm not going to say too much on them, so I'll just go 2-0 Everton.
Had the same sort of thinking. Leeds, West Ham.
Leeds, West Ham. West Ham 3, Leeds 1.
Jeez, identical. All right, let's go. Leicester, Burnley.
Leicester.
He's at home, bro.
Who's at home? The boys are asking who's at home.
Leicester's at home.
Leicester.
Who's at home? You're going Burnley 1-0. Yeah, we've been drinking way too much to be saying Burnley 1-0. Who they got? Who they got? Sorry, Benny's got who?
Leicester are at home.
You actually like Leicester ain't got something to prove
Leicester
at the
at
moment.
home, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It don't make sense.
Well, I like to see who he starts with. Ian Nacho's not starting, and he was like,
Yeah, but you can't start Ian Nacho then. Vardy's there, bro. Like Vardy's bang
you say
on.
you can't play ball.
You can't play both. No, you can't play both. Just one comes on.
Because he did play them both.
Like, you can't play
In
both.
the last
Can't play
season,
both.
and it worked.
Sorry, boys. I'm gonna go Leicester. Leicester 2-0, man. Simple.
Leicester 2-0. Okay.
I said that.
You said that as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a stink fest. It's going to be 1-0.
Said Burnley gonna stink up the place.
Stink up the blaze, bro. We've got Watford versus Newcastle. Come on, Watford. That's liberties, isn't it?
Local, innit?
I'm like, go on, Watford, you're gonna lose.
Danny Welbeck. Oh, Danny Welbeck's at Brian.
Robert was at Watford one time.
Tell him to come on the screen if he wants to talk.
Hey, come.
Actually,
What's the man? It's the same guy that says Xhaka hat-trick.
I'm genuinely, I'm done because I was like, oh, Danny Welbeck, hat-trick, 3-1. He's at Brighton.
Yeah, and not even there anymore. You missed the transfer. Man, he scored at Brighton. You missed that.
He did.
What versus who?
Newcastle. I actually think that'll be Newcastle 2-1. Do you think that'll be Newcastle 2-1?
I'm going with 2-1 as well. What you said? Draw.
I think it'll be a draw, you know.
Okay, they all go for draw. I'm going. Me and my guy go 2-1. I think 2-1 to Newcastle. I'm saying.
I'm going 3-2 Newcastle on that one.
Okay.
All right, and then we've got Brentford, Liverpool. Brentford's at home. Brentford's at home.
Game, isn't it?
Good game.
Obviously, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Good game.
Liverpool finding out results left, right, center.
5:30 kickoff.
5:30 tomorrow.
Liverpool looking too strong.
Yeah, on Saturday. Yeah.
Van Dijk just gives them that.
Oh, man. Van Dijk's.
He just gives them that.
Similar as this year. 4-0 Liverpool.
No, don't say that.
Word.
Respect them.
Yo.
Do you know why?
You're not putting no respect on Burnley's name, you know, or their yard, or their man. Them. What's wrong with you, bro?
Hey,
That's a pasting.
they're saying 4-3 Liverpool, and he's going 3-1 Liverpool. I don't think Brentford scoring. No,
I said 1-1.
I say 2-2.
Jeff said 1-1.
Yeah.
Wait, Dash, you said 2-2.
Yeah.
Do you know, a long time, yeah? I wanted to leave this.
Not like Salah.
Oh, yeah. Look. Man, got in the screen now.
We were drinking. Wait,
Man said, come over here and talk in the screen. Man, like, nah, man's cool. Man mentions Liverpool, Brentford. Man's here. What's going on?
What are you saying? He's saying Salah. You said you man are right. Salah's the best player in the Prem. Like, come on. Like,
currently at the moment, yeah, he's doing a madness. Like, no one can stop Salah at the moment. Van Dijk's obviously a new signing. Mane is very frustrated, but he's still scoring and he's still, scrapping it out. He's still grinding it and still getting goals. But Salah right now, no one can handle him. No one can handle him at the moment. I'm saying 3-1. I think they'll concede, but at the same time, I think they'll just put more away. Liverpool will put more away.
Brentford's hard to go to, man. That's a small stadium. They're all on top of you. I think that
Liverpool.
And look, I think this is the one thing that you are understanding what we took into consideration as well, because that Brentford ground, you've seen what it has done to other clubs this season already. Everyone's thought they're going to go there, and they haven't been able to get a result there. Yeah, look, and also they're playing good football. They're playing good football. They know how each other play. Their connectivity is brilliant. They're good going forward. They're together. They're together defending in. Yeah. They've got a manager that has got a good style of football for them as well. Yeah. Their fans are a crazy bunch as well. They've got brilliant support base out there. It's tight. It's kind of reminds me of Sellers Park, where everyone's just on top of you. Yeah, you got the fans just bearing down on you. I mean, look, I think it's going to be a hard place for any club to go to But I think for Liverpool, the playing that they are, they're not going to lose at a place like that. But I think they'll draw.
You know what? Yeah, I respect everything you say. I'm not taking consideration, Brentford, their form, everything like that. The crowd, what they're doing is very impressive. How they're holding up play, how they're beating players, their philosophy, their style of play, their direct form, their mix up as well. The two strikers, they're tidy and they've got a really good relationship. But at the end of the day, how it's going to go, watch, first half, it's either going to be, to me, not going to be any type of goals, to be fair. Might be slow, but second half, Liverpool will turn up. They did it on the last game, and it was just like, I was watching the game, I was just like, yeah, you're not really doing much. Then Klopp made a few changes, and et cetera, and then, just blew them away. And that's what I thought was just going to happen. They're just looking too currently at the moment.
I feel that.
Well, I appreciate, Bradford, they doing well. They'll stay up. I don't believe they will definitely stay if they keep, that consistency and that form. I think they'll stay up. Why not? You don't think they'll stay up?
Not good enough. No.
You don't think they're good enough? The people that are not good enough are Norwich. They're just doing the same thing. Imagine getting beaten by the same, couple of seasons back. Remember, they was in the Premier. They getting beaten by the same mistakes and haven't learned from it. That makes no sense to me. That's just definition of insanity. You're doing the same thing, getting the same results, and it's not working. And he comes to the table and says, "Oh yeah, we just have to learn how to not concede goals." Are you the manager? Are you all right? Are you not the manager? What do you mean? You
have to learn how to not concede. What does that even mean?
What is he going to get fired?
I thought that was one of the objects of the game, but hey,
what is that?
I'm gonna say the obvious.
My mum will say that.
I was so confused. What's the next one?
All right, so let's keep it moving. All right, so no, we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
United?
Yeah, we done United.
Done it.
We've done it already.
Come here. Wait. My little brother. Hold on. Switch.
Yeah.
So, hey, he's a United fan. What's the score's going to be, bro?
The score. If we keep a clean sheet, I reckon a 3-4-0. If we don't keep a clean sheet, I say 5-1.
Jeez.
Go.
Gunwood, 2 goals to brace. Ronaldo, of course.
5-1 if we concede. 4-0 if we don't.
Either way, there's a 4-goal deficit.
I saw him as well. Wait, I come again.
Is it at home?
That's lucky.
Yeah, United at home.
Yeah, United at home, yeah.
So we've got a statement to make. Midweek. Well, we was at home. 11 changes? Diabolical. Diabolical.
Yeah, but you have to do that.
But you have to. Boom. But this is the thing though, with United, the manager that we haven't got a style of play that is very clear.
Okay.
So what we rely on is individual brilliance, moments, and second balls. So if Ronaldo comes through, boom, he's going to score at least 1 goal.
He's guaranteed to go.
Exactly.
Minimum.
So that's why Gunwood, boom, on target. So that.
And you know what? I'm sick of these United fans.
Bruno and Pogba.
We're going to score 5. We're going to score 10. No.
Bruno and Pogba got that thing. And you know what? If Link is carrying his form, never know. 5-1.
My guy.
Jesus.
All right.
So what about on Sunday? Sunday's first game, Southampton Wolves.
Southampton Wolves. Draw. I'm going 2-2.
Right, I went 0-0. Jeff went 0-0. And now North London derby. Arsenal versus Tottenham.
Arsenal fan. He's Mikel in as well. So I fuck with him. Sorry for my language. Yeah, take a seat. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's do this. Let's do this.
What? North London derby.
Yeah, let's
North
go.
London derby. What you got?
Give them the predictions, bro.
Okay. Whoever scores first loses.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Come on, God, don't do that. What's the score?
Just drop the mic.
You don't like that?
No, I'm joking. No. I think it will be a 2-1 Arsenal win. I think Spurs will score first. But if you look back at all for the last 10 years, you will see whoever scores first loses.
Yeah, you make a point.
If you think about it, whoever scores first in that derby gets the knickers in a twist. They think, yeah, you know, Harry Kane, yeah. Aubameyang, Aubameyang, blood clot, yeah, you hear me? You see that?
Oh man,
My God. Okay, cool. I'm
And on
going.
that note, J Lil, what is your prediction for the North London derby?
Okay, it's a 2-1 for me, but I think it's a 2-1. It just depends on who scores first.
I'm going 1-0, man.
1-0. Oh, 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah.
Two.
What, Rash? For you to have to ask me two is bad.
Bro, it's like you versus you between those two, bruv.
Arsenal, because I'm going 1-0 to the Arsenal because that's what we've been doing,
No,
right?
no, no.
What?
I've got Arsenal to win the rest of the games.
That is what we've been doing.
Nah, but you're gonna lose your money.
No,
You're
the odds are.
gonna lose your money. Yeah, you know. Nah, man.
And
Sorry.
Jeff, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken, you and I both say Arsenal gonna win 2-0.
You know what? Yeah.
Well, Jeff went 2-0.
2-0, yeah.
Rash, what did you go with?
2-0 as well.
Okay, so you boys actually think we're gonna do the business? Like, you actually think? Are you not scared of Harry Kane, Son? None of them boys there, no?
Well, man, not scared of no man. Yeah, man, yo. Man, not scared of nobody. Nobody. No, no. But like, I just think, like I said, I couldn't believe I was going to be saying it, but I think Arsenal's defense is actually going to be able to contain. I just think they're just going to have a little bit more. I don't think it's going to be an exciting game. I just think Arsenal's going to put it out of the bag, and I think we're going to do it convincing. I think it's going to be 2-0. Yeah,
I agree.
I wasn't panicked.
Hopefully, pray.
let's see. And then the last game of the weekend, the real derby, Crystal Palace versus Brighton. What do you reckon? This is a big game.
This is an easy one for me, man. Palace is taking it. I wouldn't. If Palace didn't play well against Spurs the other day, I would have gone maybe draw or maybe even Brighton to nick it. But we've got to remember, Brighton ain't playing. They're not shit as well. Like they've been getting goals. But I'm gonna go with. Nah, man. These guys that are coming in, I'm going 3-1. Palace, man. They got shooters. Yeah, Palace, bro. Palace, yeah, man.
So inconsistent.
They are inconsistent, but what's that? Rash, you know the team. What's the new guy? The white fella that's up top.
The white fella.
What's his name? Long hair.
No, he's not top.
Oh, with the Gallagher.
Gallagher.
Well, Techie.
Very good. Gallagher is a player as well, but Edward as well. They got that new shooter, Edward as well. He's banging goals.
Yeah, but he didn't start. I don't know why he didn't start last game.
Benteke is the main man. Benteke is the main man, man.
Benteke's the man. He's dead, fam. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Benteke is dead.
Benteke's dead, fam. How come I'm bury 2 goals and then he doesn't start next game? Are you right?
Please tell me why.
I think Benteke scored like 5 goals in 10 seasons.
Exactly.
Something wild like that.
You're gassing.
He's the opposite of prolific.
But definitely in the last 5 seasons, he's probably scored 7 goals.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
But he is still like the target man and the main man for Palace. I reckon. I think Vieira will still play it and beat Edouard on the game.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever been the main man. But I do think. No, actually, I don't think he'll start. I don't think he'll start this game. I think Edouard will start the line. To be honest, I think Edouard will start. London, it will be their derby. It's a game that the fans anticipate. They're going to need grit and they're going to need a little bit more than what Benteke can offer. I think Benteke can come on later in the game when Brighton like to pile on a lot of pressure towards the end of the games, and he can be there as a guy to grab the ball and hold it up and bring the other players into play a little bit. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a tough game for them both. I think I've got it as a 2-2 draw.
2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Who's coming clutch for Brighton? Who's doing the business for Brighton?
Well, Mbappe, you got Mbappe, bangs goals all the time. You got Welbs down there now trying to shoot goals. You got Who else? Bruv, they're all right and they know how to
Trossard.
play. Yeah, they got Trotter and their manager's an all right manager. Is a good guy, bruv. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. So, it's not a walk in the park. Remember, Vieira's new. Palace have got a couple new players in. Do you know what I mean? They've got to make sure that they feed the information on that this is a big game. This is our rivals. This is what we do. We bang out against Brighton. Do you know
History.
what I'm
It's
trying to
history.
say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's whether they can show up. If they show up, and if Zaha shows up, then yeah, anything can happen because that guy is the Jack Grealish of Crystal Palace.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah. Facts.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Put some respect on that guy's name.
For real. Yeah, I guess that's the
But
end
yeah.
of the predictions, isn't it?
That's it. That's the weekend's actions, bro. It's been great. It's been nice just been me and you, Jeff. You know what I mean? Jalil came and corrupted the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? It's been a good show today.
My bad, Jalil, bro.
Anyone who's watching the show and viewing, don't forget to smash the like buttons today for us. Any last words, lads, before I see it out?
No, you can go for it, Rash, man.
Come on, Arsenal, I guess.
Yeah. Come on, boys.
All right, yes, and so as we always do at this time, just gonna see it out. Just want to put a little bit of focus on, what's going on around the world. We've got a lot of people being oppressed, a lot of people not being able to live just a normal standard of living. Do you know what I mean? Even having the right just to eat what they want, breathe how they want to breathe, move how they want to move, have their faith as what they want it to be. Do you know what I mean? Some people don't even have the right to live in their own homes because they're being kicked out of their homes, being told that they have a right over the place where they have lived hundreds of years. Okay, there are these sorts of oppressions where children are waking up to bombs, where fathers are not coming home, where mothers are being shot down the street going down to the grocery store, where your children and your family are being kidnapped and put behind cells and never seen again for the next 5 to 6 years. They don't know what's happening. These things are happening in China. These things are happening in Palestine. These things are happening in Syria. They're happening in Yemen. There's famine going on around the world. There's children still in West Africa coming out of their houses up to the age of 6 with no clothes, and it's normal. It's not even seen as weird. This is something that is going on in the world that shouldn't be. This is something that we can all make a difference for. We can donate to various charities. We can spread the awareness on our social medias, and we can keep the pressure on the governments and make sure that they know that though we might not have a voice, we see everything. We see what's going on, and whatever platform we are on and that we can make a little bit of a difference, we're going to do that. Just remember, everybody, love always wins. And that's the end of the show. Shout out to everyone here at RBT. Shout out to John, who didn't make it today. Jalil for dropping in at the end. Jeff for being my co-host today. Great show today, lads. Peace.
Salute to everyone.
Peace.